Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to do my Cleveland Browns schedule predictions for this year, my realistic ones. Hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and let's get into our predictions of how I think the Cleveland Browns are going to go in 2024-2025 NFL season. So let's get right into it. Week 1, the Browns have Cowboys at Browns. The Cowboys have Dak Prescott, who is good in the regular season, bad in the playoffs. I think the Browns, since they're at home, will probably take care of business, and I think the Browns will probably beat the Cowboys. I'll say they'll probably win. I'm gonna go 30-14. Browns will win Week 1 to start 1-0. Week 2, the Browns have to play at Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence as the Jags QB is pretty good. They also have Christian Kirk, Gabe Davis, who they brought in this offseason, tight end. They got Evan Ingram. They got some good defensive pieces in Trayvon Walker, and also on offense they got Travis Etienne Jr., who's a really elusive and good running back who can catch out of the backfield, and it's just a really good running back. But they're a good team. Last year they went 9-8, just missed the playoffs. They collapsed near the end of the season. The Browns beat them actually during that collapse, as the Browns beat them 31-27. And then Browns, they got a good defense last year. They picked him off, I'm pretty sure, 3 times. Martin Emerson got a pick. So did Newsome, I'm pretty sure. No, Emerson got 2, and Ward, no. Emerson got 2, and I'm pretty sure Newsome got 1. So last year they dominated him pretty goodly. I think this year they're gonna win. I'm gonna go Browns win 28-17, and they start the year off 2-0. Week 3, the Giants come into Cleveland Browns Stadium. The Giants have Danny Dimes. Last year, they had a disappointing year after the year before. They made the playoffs and won a playoff game in Minnesota. The Giants team is not that good this offseason. They traded for Brian Burns. They got okay team. They're really not going to be that big. They got Kayvon Thibodeau on the defense. They also drafted a new offensive weapon in Malik Neighbors, but they did lose Saquon Barkley, who replaced him with Devin Singletary. Malik Neighbors is their main offensive weapon. I think the Browns should be able to shut down this team, really. The only worry, in my opinion, is Malik Neighbors. I think the Giants' offense will be pretty slow. I don't think it's going to be hard. All they have to do is have Denzel Ward lock up Malik Neighbors. And they also got Emerson and Newsome. And then they can have Garrett get the pass rush in there. Really, I think they should win this game. I don't think it should be too bad. Browns obviously are going to beat the Giants. They definitely should beat the Giants, as we know that defense will lock down the Giants' offense. The Giants' offense is not really much of anything, to be honest with you. I think the Browns, Sean is going to have a good game. I think Chubb, I already talked about him. I don't know if he'll be back with Jerome Ford. Could have a good game. Dante Foreman, Nyheim Hines. I think Nyheim Hines could get a return touchdown maybe here soon. This team, Browns team, I think it's just stacked. I think they're going to take care pretty well. I think they're going to beat them down. So I'm going to have to say that I think the Browns will probably beat the New York Giants in Cleveland. Since it's in Cleveland for sure, I think Deshaun's going to put on a show. I'm going to say the Browns are going to beat the Giants convincingly, probably like 24-10. Browns will start 3-0. Week 4, Browns go into Las Vegas at Vegas. Vegas got Devontae Adams, who's a good weapon, but their QBs Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew, who both I think are not that good. On the defense, they got Crosby. They brought in Christian Wilkins. On offense, they lost Josh Jacobs. I just don't think they're going to have enough to beat the Browns, honestly. Aiden O'Connell Minshew won't work against Ward, Emerson Jr., Newsome in secondary with Grant Delpit and Thornhill at safety. Garrett and Smith, I think, will get pressure all over them. And then I think the offense, I think Deshaun will have a good game. Raiders' defense really isn't that good. The D-line, though, is good. They got Tyree Wilson also with Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins. But I think the Browns should win this one easily. I think there could be a really good through the air attack to Watson and Coop. I think Judy could get a touchdown in this game. I think the Browns will win this one pretty also convincingly, 38-13 to start 4-0. Time for Week 5, Browns at Washington. Washington's got a new QB in Jaden Daniels from LSU. He just won the Heisman Trophy last year in college football. He's a pretty good mobile QB type, which Browns play mobile QBs. They're used to it playing against Lamar Jackson, so I think that will help them be able to contain Daniels since they're used to it with Lamar Jackson. The Commanders also brought in Bobby Wags this offseason for on defense and Frankie Louvu. But on the offense, they brought in some new weapon in Austin Eckler, who's a really good running back out of the backfield, and he's good receiving back too. But they also got their best weapon in Terry McLaurin, who's already been there. They also got Jahan Dotson on the offense, who's a good receiver. I think they got Jonathan Allen on defense too. I think this will be a tough game for the Browns, honestly, in my opinion. But I think the Browns will overcome. I think Deshaun could maybe have a decent game against the Commanders' defense. I think that the veteran experience from the Browns' defense and from the veteran experience on the offense, from like Cooper, Batonio, that O-line, I think they'll end up winning this game against the Commanders. Even though I think this game will be kind of tough for the Browns, but I do think the Browns will probably definitely win this one. I think the Browns will win 28-24, and they'll start the season off 5-0. Week 6, they have to go travel into Philly, which will be a really, really tough game. As the Eagles just went to the Super Bowl 2 years ago, but last year, obviously, they started off really good, and they had a disappointing end of their season, losing. They ended 11-6. They lost I don't remember how many games they lost to the Bucs in the wild card round. Obviously, got blown out. Very bad end to the season, but they got a good team with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and they brought in Saquon Barkley for the offense. Their defense, is really good. But I think the Browns will probably lose this one because I just think the Eagles are just have a really good team. And it's in Philly too, which makes it even tougher for the Browns to win. To go into Philadelphia is one of the hardest places to play. So I think the Browns will lose this game. But I think Deshaun might not play as well either in this game. I think Deshaun could have a down game. I think the Browns will lose this one 31-28 to go 5-1. Week 7, Bengals come into Cleveland. As we know, I think Joe Burrow is not good against the Browns. He has a 1-5 record against the Browns. He's never won in Cleveland. So I think the Browns would definitely win this one because it's in Cleveland Browns Stadium. I don't see the Bengals beating us. I just think the Browns are too good. They got Ward, Emerson, and Newsom in the matchup against Chase and Higgins. They lost Joe Mixon this offseason, but they did get Zach Moss, their new running back. But I think the Browns are just too good. Myles Garrett owns Joe Burrow. He'll be back there. I bet he's going to get 2 sacks this game. He always does good against the Bengals. Denzel Ward picks off Burrow all the time. I just think the Browns will win this one. I think Deshaun Watson could have a game against the Bengals, obviously. But I think this game will be really good for the Browns. JOK, obviously. He's going to be a really good tackler. I think he'll get a lot of tackles this game in TFLs. I just think the Browns, we dominate the Bengals, especially at home. Browns are probably going to win this one, in my opinion, convincingly. I think the Browns will pretty much dominate the Bengals like they always do. I say the Browns are going to win this one 35-17 to start 6-1 on the year. Next week 8, the Ravens come into Cleveland Browns Stadium. Browns never play good against the Ravens, honestly. We win. If we usually split with them a year, maybe. We get lucky if we split them. Last year in Cleveland, they lost 28-3, but that's when DTR had his first career start. And then they had that insane comeback from Deshaun where he didn't throw an incompletion in the second half in Baltimore to win 33-31. I do think the Browns will probably lose this one. I don't think Browns are good enough. I just don't think they would beat them. This game, Ravens always beat us. We can't ever stop Lamar Jackson for some reason. But Lamar Jackson always cooks the Browns for some reason. So I think the Browns will lose this one. Browns will lose 28-20, start 6-2. Week 9, the Chargers go into Cleveland Browns Stadium. Obviously, the Browns have had some really exciting close games against the Chargers over the past years. That they didn't play them last year, but 2 years ago they lost 31-30 because Cade York missed a field goal. And then I think it was the year before that they played the Chargers in Los Angeles, and it was a shootout. There was a lot of crazy stuff that happened in that game. So I think the Browns, they usually struggle against the Chargers. We've lost the last 2, but I think the Browns will have struggles against the Chargers. But I do think the Browns will win this game because the Chargers, I just don't think are good enough with their new coach Harbaugh. Obviously, I think the Browns will win 38-35, start 7-2 on the year. Week 10 is the Browns bye. Week 11, they go from off the bye to travel into New Orleans. I think this will be a great game for Deshaun coming off the bye against New Orleans. New Orleans is like a mediocre team. They got Derek Carr as their QB. Chris Olave is their best offensive weapon. They got Alvin Kamara. Their defense is good with Cameron Jordan, Marshawn Lattimore, Demario Davis, and they got the Honey Badger at safety. But I think the Saints aren't that good. I think they'll be mid this year. I think the Browns will win this one pretty goodly against the Saints. I think the Browns will dominate the Saints in my opinion. So, Saints, they got a good O-line, but I think Deshaun, this is going to be the game where I think Deshaun shows for sure he still has that Houston form. This is where I think the Browns Browns fans are going to start getting their hope that they can go on a deep playoff run. They're going to win 38-16 to start off 8-2. This is the big game. Thursday night, Steelers travel into Cleveland Browns Stadium for Week 12. The Steelers obviously got new QB Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. I mean, I don't know who should start. I think Justin Fields is better than Russell Wilson right now, but it could be Russell Wilson or Justin Fields. We won't know at this point. They got some good weapons in George Pickens. They got Jalen Warren at running back, Najee Harris, Pat Freiermuth at tight end. Their defense is obviously good with TJ Watt, Cameron Hayward. But I think the Browns in Cleveland Browns Stadium, we usually beat the Steelers once. I think they'll win it on Thursday night because they're dominate at home. And I think this defense will set the tone for the Browns and beat that Russell Wilson up in the pocket. I think he'll throw out like 2 picks today. I think their Browns defense is going to do pretty good against them today. I think Deshaun will have a decent game. I think Nick Chubb will be definitely back at this time and have a really good game. I think Browns will win 31-20 to start off 9-2. Week 13, the Browns travel into Denver on Monday Night Football. Browns don't really play good in Denver for some reason. Last year obviously was a terrible game. They had DTR against Broncos game. That game was just bad. There was some bad play call by Kevin Stefanski. The Browns then, I mean, Kevin Stefanski kind of screwed them that game. But the Browns lost to Denver. I think the Browns, though, probably, I don't know. I think the Browns will lose this game. I just feel like they never play good against Denver for some reason. I think the Browns will lose 24-21 and go to 9-3. Week 14, the Browns play in Pittsburgh. The Browns haven't won a regular season game in Pittsburgh for a long time. I don't even know the year, but it's been a long time. The last time they won in Pittsburgh was obviously that playoff game. But I think the Steelers will probably win this one because we beat them last time. So I think we'll lose this one in Pittsburgh. I don't think Deshaun will have that great a game. I think the Browns will lose 26-20, drop to 9-4. Week 15, the Chiefs come into Cleveland. Now, I actually think this will be a really, really exciting game. I think this game, Deshaun is going to have some type of insane thing in the fourth quarter where he ends up playing better than Mahomes, and I think Deshaun will win this game for the Browns. I think he will definitely win this game. The defense will have to shut down Mahomes. This game will be really fun in Cleveland Browns Stadium. This game will show what Deshaun is all about. I think this is going to be the game where Deshaun looks like a superstar. Like he's going to beat Mahomes in Cleveland, where the stands are going to be happy. 41-38, Browns win 10-4. I think Watson will lead a game-winning drive that game. Week 16, the Browns play the Bengals. We won the last one in Cleveland. Browns, I just think, play good against the Bengals. So I think the Browns against the Bengals, I think we might have a shot winning this one again. I think Deshaun will have a good game. I think the Browns will probably end up taking this one. 30-24 Browns win. They go to 11-4. Week 17, Sunday Night Football, Dolphins in Cleveland. I think Browns will win this one. Dolphins do not play good in cold weather at all. I think this game will be a low-scoring affair. I don't think the offenses will be clicking as much, especially on the Dolphins side. I think our defense will end up winning this game for us. I think Deshaun might struggle in the cold. I just don't see this game being. This game will be more of a defensive game, and I think the Browns will win this one 17-3 to go to 12-4. I think that will be the best defensive performance by the Browns this year. Week 18, Browns travel into Baltimore. I think this will be the game to win the AFC North, who will be the AFC North champs. I think the Browns will show who they are. Obviously, this will be a really tough game in Baltimore. They won it last year. I think this game, Deshaun is going to clutch up like he did against the Chiefs. I think the Browns, Nick Chubb will have a field day, I think, against the Ravens. I think he'll have his best game of the year in Week 18. I think to clinch the division, I think the Browns will win this one 38-37. Browns go 13-4, win the AFC North, and get the second seed in the AFC playoffs. That is my Browns 2024-2025 predictions. I think they're going to be the AFC North champs. I think they're going to go 13-4, get the second seed in the AFC. Okay, thanks for watching. That is my Browns 2024-2025 predictions. Thank you so much. Please subscribe and like the video. See you next time.